Good afternoon to everyone. It's a wonderful, wonderful day. I am so thankful to God for blessing me to be here on Point of View today. Cleester is going to be here, God willing, on Thursday. And Merethah, whenever she gets a break from she's training for a new position in her job. So when she gets the break, she'll be back with us too. But we are here. Thanks be to God, dear God. As I sit before you to speak, I pray to you that my soul you will keep. And if I should die before I finish, I pray to you, dear God, in the name of Jesus, that any outstanding sins will be forgiven. Oh man, oh man. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, how wonderful the day is. It's such a blessing. It's such a blessing. God is so good to each and every one of us. I am going to go ahead. I'm talking about today, pace your success. And I have two topics, two here that I am going to talk about here about your success, pacing your success, and 15 signs that you're leading a successful life is from Life Hack. And then my other one is Success That Lasts. And this is from Harvard Business Review. Harvard Business Review. So I have these two topics for you. And so thank you so much for joining me today on this Tuesday, the 21st of March, second day of spring. Hey, here in Texas, in the United States. It's wonderful, wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and go into this. Innovation is our go to state of mind. And this is from Harvard Business Review. Success that lasts. We'll start right here with success that lasts. And my subject is pace your success. Pace your success. And this is Success That Lasts by Laura Nash and Howard H. Stevenson. All right. So the summary is um, pursuing success can feel like shooting in a landscape of moving targets. Every time you hit one, five more pop up from another direction. You are under constant pressure to do more, get more, be more. But is that really what success is all about? So Laura Nash and Howard Stevenson interviewed and surveyed hundreds of professionals to study the assumption behind the idea of success. Like I said, this is from Harvard Business School. Harvard Business School. So let me get this just right for you. Talking about success, we all want to be successful, and we all are successful people. We are. We really are. So they interviewed professionals to study the assumptions behind the idea of success. And so they then built a practical framework for a new way of thinking about success, a way that leads to personal and professional fulfillment instead of feelings of anxiety and stress. And also Eula, I haven't talked with Eula, but I'm sure that she will be back on here sooner than later. Okay. The author's research uncovered four irreducible components of success: happiness, feelings of pleasure or contentment about your life; achievement, accomplishments that compare favorably against similar goals others have strived for; significance, that's the sense that you made a positive impact on people you care about; and legacy, a way to establish your values or accomplishments so as to help others find future success. Unless you hit all four categories with regularity, any one win will fail to satisfy. Any one will fail to satisfy. Okay? So we're talking about happiness. They uncovered four irreducible components of success. There's happiness, there's achievement, there's significance, and there's legacy. All right, so we'll keep those in mind. So perhaps people who achieve lasting success, the authors learned, tend to rely on a kaleidoscope strategy to structure their aspirations and activities. So this article explains how to build your own kaleidoscope framework. And my topic is pace your success. All right. And then I say, like, there's a cliche that says, get all you can all you get, but pace it, okay? That's not Pace it is not a part of that cliche, but pace it, okay? All right. So even in canning, everything is at a certain pace. You have to peel your fruit or your veggie, whatever, or you have to clean it first, then you have to peel it, or what is your get the peas. What is it? We snap beans, and then we clean peas. You open the shell up, and then break the peas out, usually with our thumb. So there's a process. First, you got to grow it, okay? Then you have to harvest it. Then you have to prepare it. Then you have to cook it. Then you have to have a way of preservation. So you got to add the preservations, however. Then you got to can it, and there's a certain way that you can it. You cannot rush it. You put them in there, and then what I saw mother, my grandmother, and them do was they would have a canning. They have canning jars, and they have this canning uh, pot, and then they have hot water in that pot. They put the jars down in the pot, and then they fill the jars, and then they later on will put the lids on there after they cool, and after they get them out of the water and everything. After they cool, they put the lids on and seal the lids, but the lids have to be put on there at a certain temperature so that they will seal. See, there's a process and there is a pace. You can't, to be successful, you can't put one before the other. I remembered all that. My goodness. Okay. So people might have a different process of canning now. I know, the pressure cooker, they had the pressure cooker and all that back then. And you had to know exactly what you were doing with that pressure cooker. All right. So I won't go off into all of that. One thing I have always been leery of, and I've never ever used a pressure cooker because I know that you have to be very experienced in using one. And I know there's always the first time, but I didn't want to even try the first time. Okay. So the process can help you determine which tasks you should undertake to fulfill the different components of success and uncover areas where there are holes. So it explains how to build your own kaleidoscope. Okay, and you cannot do it all at once. There are steps to it, all right? So it can also help you make better choices about what you spend your time on and the level of energy you put into each activity. So, according to Nash and Stevenson, successful people who experience real satisfaction achieve it through the deliberate imposition of limits. Cultivating your sense of just enough, they have a quote in the end quote, just enough can help you set reachable goals, tally up more true wins, and enjoy tasting success. All right. So we'll get into it, okay? We will get into it. A 55-year-old highly successful venture capitalist is thinking about his next investment. He's not certain he has the energy to start another 7-year round of intense financing and consulting activity. He said, I just can't imagine enjoying that pace again. And frankly, it's time I paid attention to my family. But I'd really feel a loser if I didn't play the game as hard as everyone else. He said, I guess I should retire. And excuse me, I think about that too. I compose music. I do write plays and dramas, and I do lots of things. And so when I released my last song, I finished it, and then I said, "Oh, now I can, rest from that." Another one popped up, and then I remembered another one that I haven't finished that I need to finish. So, hey, it has sweet pace. You try to get out of the game, but until the Lord is ready for you to completely let it go, you have to stay in there and do as He directs. So this man said, "But I really feel a loser if I didn't play the game as hard as everyone else." And so I don't go at it as hard, but I do go at the leading of the Lord, and then I accomplish what I would have if I rushed before. Okay, so the president of a $1 billion division of a consumer products company discovers that manufacturing and distribution bugs will delay the scheduled rollout of a new product line. Retailers are eager for the product, pressures on share price are intense, and the president's bonus is tied to the rollout success. If he goes ahead, the product is sure to be on top, but only temporarily. The costs down the road from disappointed consumers and time investing and having to fix mistakes will clearly hurt the bottom line. What is success under their circumstances? Now, here's another example. A fast track, excuse me, my eyes for some reason trying to. A fast track 32-year-old software engineer with a second degree in sacred music feels that something is missing in her career strategy. She wants a lifetime of a well paid manager, but software doesn't feel as socially significant as playing the organ for a congregation. And she someday wants a house and a family. Why can't I find a career path that will get me all of these things? She wonders. Are they really so reasonable? So different as these examples are, or they may be, these individuals have a similar problem. They all need a comprehensive framework for thinking about success, and they're far from alone. Pace yourself, okay? Pace is coming, it's here, some more is coming. Survey after survey shows a high degree of job dissatisfaction and burnout among the general working population, even among those with plenty of options. So, in the collective soul searching prompted by September 11, 2001, many high achievers revisited their notion of success. The wave of corporate scandals that followed soon uh, after only made the question more acute. Even the most dedicated employees wondered aloud whether they would ever recommend their own careers and companies to their children. So pursuing success is like shooting at a series of moving targets. Every time you hit one, five more pop up from another direction. Just when we've achieved one goal, we feel pressure to work harder to earn more money, exert more effort, possess more toys. Standards and examples of making it constantly shift while a fast paced world of uh, technological and social change constantly poses new obstacles to overcome. Constantly, there's always a new obstacle to overcome. Hello, thank you for being with me, talking about pace your success. And right now, I'm in the Harvard Business Review, okay? Harvard Business Review, and that is hbr.org, all right? So during the past decade, traditional career paths suddenly become pointless. Professionals found themselves overworked and undersatisfied in the boom, then overworked and competitively vulnerable in the bust. And far too many businesses discovered that they were using the wrong measures to gauge success, winning big in the 1990s only to lose big for their shareholders and employees at the turn of the millennium. The climb to success can feel like an Esker drawing of a staircase that goes nowhere. Can you imagine that? A staircase that goes nowhere. And so they're saying that the climb to success can feel like that, like a staircase going nowhere. So in the face of such instability, many people assume success requires a winner takes all approach. They believe that success depends on putting all your energy into achieving one goal, be it a single minded focus on your job or a commitment to being the best soccer mom in your community. But no matter how noble, one goal can't satisfy all of a person's complex needs and desires, as the examples at the beginning of the article demonstrate. The same holds true for the goals of a business. Fortunately, success doesn't have to be seen as a one dimensional tug of war between achievement and success. It doesn't have to look like that. You don't have to see it like that, okay? So, if developed in the right way, your ideals of the good life for yourself and society can become powerful and manageable factors of success. So they said we studied hundreds of high achievers who realized lasting success, make a positive difference, and enjoy the process. And we learned that some of the most successful people have gotten where they are precisely because they have a greater understanding of what success is really about and the versatility to make good on their ideas. So, in this article, they're going to introduce to us a practical framework that will help us to see success in those same terms, okay? But first, a close examination of how we arrived at this model. So, this is the two authors saying how they arrived at this. So, what is enduring success? What is enduring success? They said our research took a fresh look at the assumptions behind success. They said we were interested in real, enduring success, where getting what you want has rewards that are sustainable for you and those you care about. This is very important so that the rewards are sustainable for you, for me, and the ones we care about. So, this type of attainment delivers a sense of legitimacy and importance. Its satisfactions endure far beyond the momentary rewards of a bonus or a new position. Lasting success is emotionally renewing, not anxiety provoking. Oh my, this is so good. I will repeat that. Lasting success is emotionally renewing, not anxiety provoking. Okay? So, unlike an equation for a successful market strategy, no one person or company can fully embody lasting success for others. That's so true. Everyone and every business has a unique vision of real success, and that notion changes over time. So, a family oriented person would hardly call the absentee like life of a top executive a success, but might find travel and adventure just the ticket after the children have grown up. A born investment banker would hardly regard mixing cement as a successful career, whereas a construction worker who just completed an extraordinary bridge might point to the structure with pride for the rest of his or her life. No one, however, has unreserved success, not even the most obvious winner, recognizing how important it is for each person to understand and develop his or her unique definition of success over time. We choose not to report on one or two well known examples of success as a perfect model to follow. So they didn't choose just one or two, okay? So, nonetheless, for the purposes of research, they said we posited five common characteristics of individuals who, by most standards, had achieved enduring success. That means high achievement, multiple goals, the ability to experience pleasure, the ability to create positive relationships, and a value on accomplishments that endure. They said we held more than 60 interviews with successful professionals, surveyed 90 top executives attending Harvard Business School management programs, and informally observed high achievers with whom we live and work. So they did the work, didn't they? They did the research. So they said we conducted more than a dozen model testing sessions with between 50 and 110 executives in each. Let me check my camera. Make sure I check my camera here. I hope it's not acting up because it was just a few minutes ago. Okay, it's not. It's not acting up at all. Let me get back here to my thing. So they said they have more than 60 interviews. Okay, and then they surveyed 90 top executives attending Harvard Business School management programs, and then informally observed high achievers with whom we live and work. They said we conducted more than a dozen model testing sessions with between 50 and 110 executives in each. So most of these groups were drawn from HBS graduates or current members of the Young Presidents Organization. They said we also reviewed the problems that the general population has reported about success using sources that ranged from media reports to conversations with friends, students, and colleagues. And then it said we talked to people from all different walks of life at every level of the economy, both in and out of business careers. Some of them were stay at home parents who had once worked full time, others were at the pinnacle of their careers. Then we talk about the complexity of success. Success involves more than a heart pounding race to the finish line. Our research uncovered four irreducible components of enduring success: happiness, we went through this, feelings of pleasure or contentment about your life; achievement, accomplishments that compare favorably against similar goals others have strived for; significance, the sense that you've made a positive impact on people you care about; and legacy, a way to establish your values or accomplishments so as to help others find future success. Now, this is from the Harvard Business Review, hbr.org, okay? So, these four categories form the basic structure of what people try to gain through the pursuit and enjoyment of success. Take away any one component, and it no longer feels like real success. If you were wildly wealthy because you had mastered a certain business problem but couldn't experience pleasure, for instance, would you consider yourself successful? If building your power base kept you from being there for others, would your success feel morally right? If you left your career to be a full time parent, would you have enough of an outlet for your talents? Just as a steady diet of the same four foods would hardly be satisfying over the long term. The four components of success cannot be satisfied by the presence of a single flavor in each category. My goodness. That is why you cannot neatly categorize the realms of your life, assigning happiness to self, achievement to work, significance to family, legacy to community. So, unless you hit on all four categories with regularity, any one win will fail to satisfy. You'll experience what we call the wince factor. You know you're doing what is right, but it still feels like a loss. You're preoccupied with thoughts of the other things you could be doing or getting. Your achievements and pleasures fade almost as soon as they occur. By contrast, success that encompasses all four kinds of accomplishments is enriching. It endures. You can create this synergy within a single event, but you can also create it through a juxtaposition of activities. So, taking time out in the middle of a high stress period or stopping to give back to the community while in the midst of pursuing your most self advancing goals are good examples of this. So, if you think about what constitutes a moment of lasting satisfaction in your own life, maybe it's your daily practice of a musical instrument. It may be surprisingly trivial in a comparison with your major commitments at work or at home. The activity draws force from accomplishing something distinctive in each of the four categories over time. Remember, pace your success. All right? Pace your success. So the musical instrument provides release and pleasure. That's happiness. It is a challenge to master and build on achievement. Okay, that's achievement. And it becomes even more fulfilling when you join a band that competes with other bands or play concerts at hospitals. That's the significance. Okay? Wow, this is good, isn't it? Thank you for being with me today. Those who also turn these lessers, less, or excuse me, I put an S on the end. It's not supposed to be. Those who also turn these lesser, lesser, vocations into legacies that build the same opportunity for the next generation, say through getting involved in recruiting and training younger musicians will find an even deeper sense of success from so called hobbies. Anyone who takes the four elements of success seriously soon realizes how complicated it can be to touch on all four with regularity. As you scale up your goals, the four part mix becomes more difficult to achieve. So each factor has a different set of characteristics satisfying different needs. They draw on distinctive emotional drives and prioritize self and others in different ways. That's why people who tell you that happiness, achievement, and significance will come automatically if you simply do the work you love are misguided. Okay? That's why people who tell you that happiness, because remember there's one missing. What is that? That's legacy, all right? People that tell you that happiness, achievement, and significance will come automatically if you simply do the work you love are misguided. Regardless of how much you care about your job, you will still feel conflicting desires between work and home, between working forever on a problem and taking a break from it, between going for more market share today and investing in companies' needs for tomorrow. The skills you use to compete are totally different from those you employ in moments of enjoyment. You can be there for a friend and you can care about a customer, but these acts in the significance category can't be substituted for the kind of thinking and prioritization that is necessary to structure favorable financial terms for your own firm in the achievement category. And then it goes back to this. It says that people, they're reiterating this, okay? People who tell you that happiness, achievement, and significance will come automatically if you simply do the work you love are misguided, okay? So, understanding the distinctive features of the four areas of success can help you articulate what you are seeking in a certain activity. You can even create a diagnostic for determining how to achieve the most appropriate goal. You may be expecting too many categories to be fulfilled without incorporating the right resources and perspectives, or you may be falling prey to a mismatch. Matching your expectations to the right category is a critical skill for achieving sustainable success. All right? I will say it one more time. Matching your expectations to the right category is a critical skill for achieving sustainable success. So, if you expect happiness to come primarily from a competition and achievement skill, you'll probably turn into someone neither you nor those around you can tolerate and wonder why success has made you so lonely. People who report having trouble defining the right goals for themselves or for their companies are often caught in such mismatches. For instance, a self described family friendly company might hold critical staff meetings over late dinners or during extended weekend retreats. The act of categorizing in and of itself can help you take more decisive action and channel the right emotions and perspectives to the task at hand. You can stop measuring a job only by how happy it makes you or calculating a business success only in terms of your ability to achieve mastery over something. Instead, you'll see how one task fits into a larger context. By the same token, you'll be able to anticipate what kind of emotional capital you'll need to bring to a task. So if you try to bring feelings of happiness or contentment to your achievement goals, you'll stunt your performance from the start. If you don't put achievement in its place, however, you'll trap yourself in a workaholic restlessness. And how many people are trapped right now? So, those in our research who achieved satisfying, enduring, multidimensional success consciously went after victories in all four categories without losing touch with their values and special talents. So these, of course, are the writers talking about this. So they seem to understand intuitively the paradox we uncovered at the heart of enduring success. To get to more wins on the various important measures that make up your notion of the good life, success has to rest on a paradigm of limitation in any one activity for the sake of the whole. WHOLE. Pace your success, okay? Or, as we call it, on the reasoned pursuit of just enough. This is awesome. This is super. Pace your success. And I'm in the Harvard Business Review, okay? The principle flies in the face of the popular opinion that success is all about breaking through limitations, that it's about having more, being more, doing more, okay? Our research shows that the high powered people who experience real satisfaction achieved it through the deliberate imposition of limits. They all shared a versatile talent that we call switching and linking. Okay? That versatile talent that they had in common is switching and linking, linking. They were able to focus intensely on one task until it gave them a particular sense of satisfaction, then put it down and jump to the next category with feeling of accomplishment and renewed energy. So this versatile refocusing could occur within the same activity, say when you base your product strategy on accomplishing your profit goal and on caring for the customer. Or it can involve switching attention between two realms, taking a break from work to joke with the friend. So the people in their research, they're saying, who were particularly skilled at sifting through the moving targets and going after only those that would produce lasting rewards, shared two characteristics. Ready for them? First, they viewed success as a broad and dynamic experience of accomplishment, one that factored in all four categories. Remember those four categories? They didn't attribute their success to one single event or even one single realm of life. Second, their concrete examples of what counted as real, REAL, success included accomplishments of wildly varying magnitude. They weren't setting maximum goals for themselves in each category. Rather, they set some at a small scale and some at a scale that demanded sustained effort. Taste it. You see that? My goodness. The baseline for these individuals wasn't the amount of activity or number of rewards in any one category, but the securing of a proportionate mix of all four. Anyone can learn to do this. You just need to have a larger framework in which to understand the dynamics of the four categories. The kaleidoscope strategy. Here we go. Let me get these. My earpieces are okay. We compare an effective success strategy to a kaleidoscope. That simple mechanical device with the lens, mirror, and a long tube housing separate chambers. Each chamber holds pieces of glass that constantly shift as the tube is moved. Although the chambers are separate, the eye sees one unique picture made up of the various chambers. Mirrors reflect the entire set of glass chips and enhance the complexity of the pattern. The beauty of that pattern comes from the variety and symmetry of the design. So, although the patterns in a kaleidoscope are inherently unstable, changed by your own movements or by outside forces, the pieces provide ongoing satisfaction as they take their places within new patterns. And I like to look through. I haven't looked through one in a long time. I think I need to do that. Kaleidoscope. Now, imagine a slightly different kind of kaleidoscope, one that is your own vision of a successful life. This kaleidoscope also has four chambers: happiness, achievement, significance, and legacy. Those are the four chambers. Remember, we've been talking about that throughout this piece, okay? And you can add brilliant glass pieces, goals set and fulfilled over a lifetime, okay? Those glass pieces are goals sought and fulfilled over a lifetime, making your unique pattern richer and richer. In this metaphor, success is about choice, movement, pattern, and a structure that holds all the separate activities together. And just like a kaleidoscope, you have to hold this pattern up to the light. By regularly assessing the picture you are creating in all four chambers, you can quickly spot holes, HOLES, places you feel require more attention in your activities, and be assured that you are justified in interrupting other work to attend to them. The rest of the chips will be enough for the moment, but not enough for the rest of your life. This is super, isn't it? And here's another reiteration: success is about choice, movement, pattern, and a structure that holds all the separate activities together. That's what success is all about. So, through their research, they're saying to us, we discovered that the people, through our research, this is what they're saying, we discovered that the people who achieve enduring success rely on a kaleidoscope strategy to structure their aspirations. Not only do they continually create new chips in each of the four categories, but they also choose their actions so that the whole picture will display a pleasing proportionality. Now, feeling deep satisfaction in each category strengthens these achievers' ability to turn away from one category when another needs attention. Pacing. You have to pace it so that if something is lacking on one side, you have enough room to go and correct that and then go back to the rest of them, okay? Without breaking the pace, all right? So, this is so good. Wow. It allows them to say, I don't need to work away at this particular thing until I'm satisfied and hate the very sight of it. This is just enough. They recognize the importance of of setting their own standards for enough and not falling prey to the lure of the infinite more. Okay? So, this is exactly the kind of thinking you see in good leaders. They anticipate what will be needed in all four dimensions of success despite pressures to deliver to the maximum in one. So, this is what the subjects in the three examples at the beginning of the article were lacking. They had no framework in which to identify and sort multiple desires so that they could go after their conflicting goals sequentially in a proportionate mix. The burned out capitalist needs to understand that scaling back his achievement goals is part of a larger picture of expansion in the other categories rather than paralyzing prospect of loss and doing nothing. Okay? Rather than a paralyzing prospect of loss and just doing nothing. So this kaleidoscope view will allow him to pace or to space, will allow him space, excuse me, to cultivate the emotional relationships he craves with his family. That doesn't mean he should give up all forms of achievement. He simply needs to readjust the level of energy he puts into that category. Now, doing so will require more creative thought and versatility than he's exhibiting now. So, the executive overseeing the problematic product rollout was framing his dilemma in terms of short term versus long term achievement. He would do better to reframe his challenge in terms of legacy. What kind of platform would he be creating for the success of his product and that of future managers in the company if he decided to release incomplete products? Legacy, okay? Thinking about the problem from this perspective helped him clarify his priorities. Instead of feeling that he had to make a trade off in a negative sense, he could, excuse me, these things, he could take a positive view of what needed the most attention and what was worth sacrificing for. In the end, he delayed rolling out the new product line, and not only were the retailers delighted with the final results, but the product division in crafting the solution discovered a new way, excuse me, to coordinate and leverage its technical capabilities across three countries. So the software engineer, okay, remember, torn between computers and church music, decided to shrink or redirect her goals in some activities and develop them in others. So when she tried the kaleidoscope strategy, she quickly saw that church music registered high in her significance category, but would always be a limited outlet for achievement. She had neither the skill nor the opportunity to become a star musician. Software had more potential for significance than she had previously thought. She needed to learn how to change her job in ways that emphasized the social value she was creating in the products she worked on and the help she provided to others. This is super. Hello, thank you for being with me. She began to see benefits in framing church music primarily as an exercise in significance rather than in achievement, with all its competitive and financial associations. But to fill both chambers, she'd need to restructure her job commitments in order to minimize travel and commit to choir practice. When she looked at the whole picture of goals she could satisfy through the sum of these activities, scaling back suddenly seemed more positive. So the pieces were enough, and she recognized taking this path would require continued growth on her part, something she had forgotten she valued and which she now had the confidence to pursue strategically. Enduring success required enduring commitment. So building your own kaleidoscope. My this time is really going by, isn't it? Wow, this is so good. Building your own kaleidoscope. To create your own kaleidoscope, start sketching out your framework. Okay? Take a piece of paper and draw four intersecting circles. Label them happiness, achievement, significance, and legacy. In each circle, list self, family, work, and community. This will enable you to do a full inventory of the mix and determine how each piece falls in the context of each main domain of your life. And then there's an exhibit here. So if you go to hbr.org, okay? Success that lasts. You can see this kaleidoscope. And there's a personal kaleidoscope right here, okay? Now, next, quickly jot down examples of your successes or great satisfactions. Then you don't have to come up with one for every item in every circle. This is just a quick sketch of your beliefs about yourself and not the full picture. So don't spend time worrying about whether you should put a particular target next to a particular item. Just work with your first impulses, okay? Take your college degree as an example. You may feel that graduating from college was a major achievement, a benchmark in your overall career plans, and something you will value for your whole life. Your degree represents a mastery of skills. You had to compete successfully to get there and get the grades. You felt satisfaction when you were successful. So you would write college in your achievement chamber next to the word work. All right. But what if college represented other things for you? Significance in your family life, for example, because your parents or spouse really valued what you were doing. That's a question, okay? In that case, you might also put college in your significance chamber next to family. The point is not to compulsively divide your life into little circles and lists, okay? Rather, it is to help you assess the various types of satisfactions you have already experienced and see why they add up. what they add up to. So the answer is often more surprising or richer than you may have suspected. Oh my goodness. So depending on your age, you might even want to fulfill or fill out framework profiles for several periods in your life. Did you want the same things at 40 as you did at 20? Will you want the same things at 60, at 85? Could you ever fully abandon one of the categories and still feel that you were a success? This is the trap that many retirees and those who downscale their careers to become full time parents fall into. Now, metaphorically speaking, you can hold your kaleidoscope up to the light, look at it objectively, and ask yourself number one, oh, this is going on. Great. How integrated is your profile? Thank you for being with me. I appreciate you. Are some of the domains empty? Are others too full? Is each realm of your identity, self, family, work, community, a depository of only one satisfaction, or is there a broader basis for success in each of these areas? These are things to ask yourself. Number two, how varied is your profile? Where are the most of your greatest successes and satisfactions so far? Where are the holes, HRLES, the obsessions? Are the chambers and realms evolving or repeating the same things over and over? Number three, what have you learned about what you actually do? Where is your time going? How does it speak to what you really want from success? Research into success has shown that one of the biggest causes of failure is an over reliance on one's greatest strengths. Are you favoring what you do best and neglecting your need for fulfillment in all four categories? So here's how the kaleidoscope strategy helped John, the owner of a large real estate company, find enduring success. Okay, John was having trouble deciding what to do with his business. After a blowout with his teenage child and a series of relentless, debilitating headaches, he decided he had to cut back on his work. He had already bought a plane against his family's wishes, and he had increased his time for himself, but he was still suffering. I know I should sell part of this business for the sake of my happiness, he said, but I just can't do it. We suggested he try putting this scale in another category, one that seemed rather empty. Why not think about the sale as an active engagement in legacy rather than a platform for happiness? The pieces fit. Legacy is about building on your achievements and values to help others succeed after you're gone. John remembered a young manager who had left the firm, someone who knew John's values and was quite accomplished in his own right. This person would probably welcome the chance to head the new spinoff, and he'd be likely to extend the kind of business John had spent his life building. So the buyers would need such a person, and John would be comfortable doing business with them. After seeing the situation from a different perspective, John was more decisive about the sale and the and high and had a richer platform of concrete goals around which to structure the transaction, the terms in which legacy would be fulfilled, the new time frame for his own enjoyment of life, a revitalizing and more realistic set of achievement goals, and a sense of providing the space to be there for his daughter and wife without giving up all the challenges of his real estate business. This is super. And it is 156. Okay. Identifying where his activities were located in the kaleidoscope gave John immediate insight into what he was seeking and getting from his efforts. My goodness, this is super. John's John. Uh, Let me see. Let me get here. In channeling your efforts effectively toward what you really seek for success, is critical to test your profile against your idealized view of yourself. Against your idealized view of yourself. What do you want your profile of accomplishments in each of the four categories to look like tomorrow, next month, over your lifetime? Oh my goodness, this is super. So, if you pay attention to the four categories and their relation to one another, this is getting to just enough, okay? Okay, I am going to stop here. I am going to stop here. I don't know how much. Oh, I'm almost finished. So I'll go ahead and do this. I'll go ahead and finish this right quick. Am I? Yes, I have 3 minutes. Okay. So getting to just enough. If you pay attention to the four categories and their relation to one another, you can enrich the potential for any activity to satisfy you on numerous dimensions, whether at work, in your leisure time, or in some other aspect of your life. The high achievers in our study were able to accomplish great things for themselves and others by recognizing they had multiple goals that were critical to their idea of real success, and by being fully committed to whatever activity they were engaged in. By switching and linking, Linking, they limited their attention to one task, and when other needs pressed, they were able to make lightning fast changes of on focus and emotional energy. So instead of feeling cheated because they couldn't get it all, they were renewed by following the cycle of attention to each category, pacing themselves. You see that? So, how do you know when it's time to stop your work in one category and switch your attention to another? That's where the concept of just enough becomes critical. Conventional interpretations of enough don't capture its full potential. People tend to use the term to express dissatisfaction, as in, that's it, I've had enough, or as a code for mediocrity or passivity, as in, if I'm just happy every day, that's enough. We mean something else by enough, closer to its root definition, occurring in significant quantity or quality to satisfy demands or needs. So if you have a firm idea of the big picture in your kaleidoscope of success, it becomes easier to determine and appreciate enough, okay, in any one activity. So without losing your energy for high aspirations, you set reachable goals. Just enough is the antidote to society's addiction to the infinite more. So soon in that light, seen in that light, it becomes a vehicle for actively making choices that allow you to do and get more, not less, through achieving satisfaction in more areas of your life. Oh my goodness. And they reiterate right here, and I am through here. Okay, thank you so much for being with me. I love you so much. Just enough is the antidote to society's addiction to the infinite more. Enjoy your day. And this was Laura Nash and Howard H. Stevenson, and this was a Harvard Business Review. I really appreciate you, and I didn't get to look at any comments today or anything, but I will, and I will get back with you. I love you so much. You're awesome. You're wonderful. Enjoy your day, and hopefully, Rita will be with me on Thursday. Oh, God, I'm calling on you. Oh, God, I'm enlisting the saints to pray. Can you hear me? Can you feel me? Can you hear Can you feel it?